Sis, you could just wear a bun every day and your hair would grow. Your hair is due to genetics, which is why you can be a lazy natural. The fact you have grown your hair waist length 2 times is not the norm, so stop.
Now let me say something.
What's up, YouTube fam?
How you doing?
Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Candace, and that's my cat Storm. He's asleep right now. But anyway, welcome to CurlyCandi Convos. Anyway, I wanted to do this series because I want us to have a true conversation about topics in the natural hair community. And the whole point of this is for everyone in the CurlyCandi Crew and even people who aren't subscribed yet to have a real conversation in the comments about your opinions respectfully, because I know it can get a little spicy down there in those comments. But the whole point is to just try to get each other's point of view, maybe get a different opinion that you haven't thought of before, look at things at a different way, so that way we can have true conversations about whatever the topic is for that episode. So today on CurlyCandi Convos, we're going to talk about, does black hair grow? And the whole reason I wanted to do this topic is because when I did my video about how I grew waist length hair twice, and if you haven't seen it, link it somewhere up there or somewhere down below. But I got a lot of comments about things saying like, are you sure it just isn't genetics? You know, my hair doesn't grow. My hair isn't growing. My hair is growing because I'm mixed. I'm not mixed. Or basically, it's just the main idea that no matter what you do to your hair, it's just always based on genetics. If you're supposed to have 4 inches of hair, that's all you're going to have, no matter what you do to it. And I feel like especially in the black community, we might feel that way. And I'm not being naive. I do know that genetics does have a play in our hair growth, but I don't think it's to the extent where people think it is, where people just assume that, for the majority, let's be honest, people just assume that black people can't have long hair. Black people's hair doesn't grow. If you see a black person with long hair, and their hair doesn't even have to be shockingly long, if you see a black person with hair like right here, some people automatically thinking, oh, that's not her hair, oh, that's weave, oh, she's mixed. And that irritates me. It irritates my soul. It irritates my soul. Like, come on. Like, black people can have long hair. Black people can grow hair, and it just But anyway, so I did some research because I wanted to know how much of our hair growth or hair length depends on genetics and how much of it depends on just our hair care regimen, what are we doing with our hair. So let's get started. Alright y'all, so I did some research and I found that on average all humans' hair grows about a ½ an inch a month, and that's all humans, no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter the genetics. On average, everyone's hair grows about a ½ an inch per month. Now, a normal life cycle of hair has 3 stages: the anagen phase, the catagen phase, and the telogen phase. Now, the anagen stage is the growth phase, and it can last anywhere from 2 to 8 years. Then you move on to the catagen phase, which is when the hair stops growing and is cut off from nutrients, and that can last from 4 to 6 weeks. And then the last stage is the telogen phase, and this is when the dead hair prepares to fall out, and it can last anywhere from 2 to 3 months. And then once it falls out, a new hair grows again. Now, as I mentioned before, the anagen stage can last anywhere from 2 to 8 years, and at any given time, 90 to 95% of your hair is in this active growing stage. So when it comes to, does black hair grow? My hair doesn't grow. No matter what I do, my hair isn't growing. But from just what I've researched, black hair does grow. All hair grows. And I mean, we know black hair grows because, like I mentioned before, when everybody in the 80s were rocking Jerry curls, because they kept their hair moisturized and all that stuff, people were having inches. Their hair was growing. When you see people with dreads, their dreads are getting long because their hair is growing. And then also, we know black hair grows because back in the day when we were getting perms, or if you are still getting perms, you know when it's time for a perm because you have new growth. You know it's time for a touch-up. When you start seeing them waves come through, you like, baby, it's about time for a new one. I need a new perm. That's how you know it's time for a touch-up, because you have new what? New growth. So black hair does grow. Don't let nobody tell you different. I know it might not feel like your hair isn't growing, and it might be because of shrinkage. It might be because of your hair routine. But honey, hair does grow and black hair does grow. So at this point, I think we've established that black hair does grow. The next question is, so I think the problem that we as black women have, or black people in general, is not growing hair, but it's retaining our hair once it grows. Black hair, because it's kinky or curly, is weaker than straight hair. From my research, I found that every curl, every kink, every bend that we have in our hair strand, that is a weak point that's prone to breakage. So for example, I know I'm close up on y'all, but bear with me. So for example, this is a strand of my hair. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bends in this strand of hair, and it's not even from the root. This is just from this point down. 10 bends in this hair, so that means I have 10 spots that can break at any given point if I don't keep it moisturized or anything like that.
Say that again.
I have 10 areas that are prone to breakage if I don't keep up with my routine. 10. And so that's why I mentioned in my hair growth video that my hair thrives when I leave it alone. Kinky hair textures thrive in low manipulation environments. The less you style, the less you comb, the less you even touch your hair with your fingers, the less chance your hair has to break off. And as you can see, I just counted 10 opportunities for my hair to break off, and that wasn't even the whole strand of hair. So can you imagine, for someone who is not taking care of their hair, all the opportunities, every curl, every little cute little wave, little kink, whatever that you got on your head, they're cute. We love for our curls to be popping, we love for our kinks to be popping, but honey, every curl, every kink, every little whoop that your hair do, that's a breaking point. And so we need to leave it alone. But I digress. I gotta get back on topic. The point is, people with looser curl textures, it's not necessarily their genetics that makes their hair grow longer, it's just that it's easier for them to do so because they have less breaking points. Okay, so y'all remember when I was talking about the anagen phase and how it can last between 2 to 8 years? So your genetics does determine how long your anagen phase lasts, but just because you have short hair does not mean you have a short anagen phase.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
So hear me out. Your anagen phase determines how long your hair will grow before it naturally dies and falls out. But it's not counting hair breakage because of a poor hair care routine. So let's just say someone has an anagen phase of 5 years, and their hair with a proper hair care routine can grow to be this long. So, that'll give them some good little inches. But because they don't take care of their hair always breaks off when it gets right here. They do have the capability of growing longer hair. It's just that they're not retaining the length. On the other hand, let's say that someone does have a short anagen phase of 2 years, which is the minimum. And as I mentioned before, science says that the average person's hair grows ½ an inch per month. So that's 6 inches a year. So with proper hair care for your hair type, that means that everyone should be able to grow at least 12 inches of hair. And 12 inches of hair ain't nothing to sneeze at, boo. So I say all this to say, from what I gathered, does genetics have a play in your hair? Of course it does. Genetics determines your hair texture and type, which determines how many breakage points you have in your hair. Your genetics determines how long your anagen phase lasts. It can either be from 2 years to 8 years. But what also determines hair length is your routine. And I feel like saying, oh, that's just genetics is kind of a cop-out, only because in this day and age, because we have YouTube, because there are so many natural hair YouTubers that are showing us that black hair does grow, and you do not have to be mixed. You do not have to have Indian in your family to have long hair as a black woman. I just want to make sure that whoever watched my videos or whoever has seen my videos, I don't want you to think that just because you're black, you can't have long hair. Black hair does grow. We just have to try harder to retain our length. And I want to include some examples because I know some people are going to think, well, this is just you. My hair isn't like that. My hair isn't your type. My hair isn't your texture. I'm going to share with you guys some YouTubers who have videos on how they grew their hair. There's Naturally Nella, who has a video on how she grew out her type 4 hair. There's Kimberly Sherrill, who has a video on how she grew out her hair in 7 ways. Natural 85. Kamira Yvonne, I hope I'm saying her name right, but she has a video on how she grew her hair. hair. And then there's another one named Avia Rebecca. I hope I'm saying her name right too. But she also has a video on how she grew her natural hair to her back. And I will link them down below so that way you guys can see them. And so again, the whole point of this video is not to bash. I just really want us to have a legit conversation. So I gave you guys my thoughts, and I want you guys to give your thoughts down in the comments below, but nicely, because I don't know why, but everybody gets a little spicy in these comments. I guess because we're online, everybody want to be about it, but let's just keep it nice and respectful, because I do feel that, and I'm probably wrong, because it might just be me just thinking the way I think. I feel like when people say, oh, it's just genetics, that they're really saying is that genetically, since I'm black, I can't have long hair or my hair doesn't grow. I just don't want people to assume that just because you are black, your hair doesn't grow, because it does. You do not have to be mixed to have healthy long hair as a black woman. Like, the idea of a black person having long hair is just like, oh my God. And it's not, it's just harder. And again, like I said, with YouTube, we have so many natural hair YouTubers, and with this natural hair awakening or whatever that's going on, I feel like we are learning more of how to take care of our hair. And I feel like there are way more black people now with long hair. And it's just so funny to me how that's still a shocker. Like, oh my God, you got long hair? What are you? Like, I'm black mixed with black. Get out my face. I know how to take care of my hair now. I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. I'm not saying that everyone can grow waist-length hair. Not everyone can grow hair to their butt. That's not what I'm saying. Because we all have different lists of our anagen phase. But don't just assume that you're just naturally disposed to have short hair. I guess I'm just really trying to encourage people, like, just don't give up. Like, don't just feel like, oh, I've never had long hair, or like to not even try. I just want you guys to at least try, I guess. I don't know. But besides the little spicy comments that I got about my hair, I had some real genuine comments about people saying that their hair doesn't grow, and I just want you guys to know your hair does grow. It does. We just have to work on retaining it, sis. And do whatever you can to retain it. Look up tips on how to retain your hair length, because your hair is growing. It's growing. So that's my thoughts on the situation. Drop down below in the comments and let you know, do you think that your hair length is based on genetics alone, that your hair care routine or anything like that has nothing else to do with it? And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to become part of the CurlyCandi Crew. Oh, and also, I really do want this to be a series, the CurlyCandi Convos. So if you have any other natural hair topics that you want me to cover and that we can have a discussion about, definitely put them down in the comments below. Maybe next time I can do it live. I don't know how many people would watch. I'm still a small YouTuber, so I don't know if that would get any views or if anyone would attend. But I think to really have conversations, this would have to be live. To have the type of conversation and platform that I wanted to have. But yeah, you guys let me know, and I will see you later. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and to follow me on Instagram to see more of what I'm doing in my everyday life. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.